All right, mate. Yeah, let's look at it here. MKR looks overbought on the RSI. Does it go higher or time for downside? Well, see, the compression here on the daily, the compression here in these moving averages on the daily is pinching. I would say that it's going to struggle to go too much higher today. But I think it very likely will eventually go a bit higher. I think it needs to pull back a bit and then maybe break up out of that for another leg. That's the daily chart. It is still green today. Is this going to flip red? I don't think it's going to flip red today. The markets would probably really need to tank for that. But this is getting into a resistance point. Very clear resistance point right up in here. Probably drew that a bit high, but you can see this pivot here, obviously through here, pivot, and the underside pivot coming back up to it here. It's not an exact level, but it's fairly close. So there's definitely resistance at this point. I think it would need to base here, or form some sort of structure or whatever before it gets another leg. So yes, could be some kind of downside before it attempts to go higher, but that's the initial thought. Let's just look through some time frames. Green on a 3-month, that's what you'd want to see if you're looking for upside. It may want to go higher up here to take liquidity in this wick right up in here. That is something to consider. Monthly is green. Yeah. It really would have been nice if there was some downside on a wick first before flipping green. The fact it flips green straight away, it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to get on board sometimes. But overall at this point it looks fairly okay. 9 week, very nice candle actually. Look at the 9 week on the bullish stop hunt. These stop hunts can give some nice upside and push higher, so definitely could be more upside on this 9 week. 5 days left in the 2 week candle. This does kind of imply as well that a new 2 week candle is probably going to move up and test the yellow 9 EMA on a new week. Something like here. See, this is a great example here actually. You get to move up into yellow 9 and then it rejects. I would say that that's what's probably going to happen. Something similar to that there is more upside coming, but then it can reject off the yellow 9 EMA and maybe build out this base a bit better, and we'll obviously need to see how the base builds. But it's still looking fairly strong. I think small downside in the near term, but on a new 2 week, to me it looks like it can have more upside. At this point there's actually a bearish 2 week stop hunt right here, on the near term. So that near term can cause some sort of dip, and even might cause even on a new week to dip back down into kind of support before moving back up into this yellow 9 EMA area, something like that. So right now into resistance. I don't think there's going to be too much more upside. Maybe slight upside, but not much. And then I think we start to see some sort of dip, and the dip then can be a buy for the next bounce higher, as long as obviously Bitcoin's not going to crash in the process. The weekly here, 3 strong candles, 3 green soldiers. So I know you know what 3 green soldiers are, but technically it's a bullish sort of reversal pattern that can give continuation to the upside. Now I'm not saying it's a long-term reversal or anything, but dips off the 3 green soldiers can often be a buy for another leg higher. I just googled three green soldiers here. I think it's actually called 3 white soldiers, but green is bullish obviously. So you can see here, dips or whatever were a buy for a move higher. That's just examples, but we do have that right now. So if there was a pullback off that, kind of implying that there is a potential for another leg off that. Of course nothing's set in stone, but after 3 green weeks up in a row in a bear market, I start to get a bit weary that there could be some downside, even like in the near term. Even if it does dip, then we can look for another buying opportunity, but I don't like buying it here. In bear markets, you can see quite a lot of times when you recapture the yellow 9 EMA, that can actually be the place to look for shorts. Now again, you can see it did spike up quite higher and then it dropped, but I do think there is a bit more upside in this. As I said, if there's a bit of a dip, I think there can be another leg higher. It's just not that easy to be shorting into the bullish green candle here. So back to where we started, really. I do think that this is a near-term top area that can give some sort of dip. And then I think that there probably can be another, a bit of a move higher after that. So I wouldn't be long in here. And after we get that bit of a dip or whatever, I think it'll be then important to focus on the new 2-week candle. As you can see right here, there's a bearish stop hunt on this, implying we can get some dip off this level. And then on the new 2-week, we can look to focus on that new green. Sorry, I don't know if it's green yet, but if it is green, we can look to trade that higher into the yellow 9 EMA.